Hello, I'm Gaz Oakley of Avantgardevegan. I'm a vegan chef, YouTuber and cookbook author, and I'm doing an interview with Plant-Based News today. Oh wow, highlights of 2019. It's gone by so fast, I think. My collaboration dish with Wagamama going to all of the restaurants in the UK and in America. That was definitely one of the big highlights for me. Talking at Vegan Camp Out in front of a huge crowd, which I never thought personally I think I could have done. If you asked me to do that a year ago, I would have said no, just because public speaking gets so anxious and nervous doing it. So being able to do that was amazing. There's so many things are happening. It's kind of crazy. I'm just rolling with the wave almost, and just keeping working hard and keep spreading my message. Some of the favourite places. I really had an amazing time recently when I went to Belgium. I did vegan Summerfest in Ghent in Belgium, and I did a cooking demo there. That was amazing, and such a big vegan festival in a place where I wouldn't expect there to be many vegans. So that was amazing. Went on the Eurostar, and that was so cool. I had never done that before, so that was cool. I'm going to travel all the way like that in anywhere in Europe. So that was fun. And then we also went to Holland and collaborated with Pick Up Limes, one of my inspirations on YouTube. Amazing vegan nutritionist and YouTuber. So we collaborated. So that was one of the best places, one of the best trips I've been on this year, definitely. So I owe a lot to my team around me, and then they're just my mates, so that's the best thing about it. I think if I give any advice to anyone, it would be work with your mates, your family if you can, although that's quite tough if you're living with family as well. But my mum works for me. That was one of my biggest, proudest moments, was getting her out of a job that she didn't like, and now she comes and works for me. So that's great. And then working with my friends who are also really, really creative. If I have an idea, they can put that into action, and they've got the skills, whether it's video editing, photography, all that kind of stuff. It's great to be able to just put this idea out there and they can bring it to life. Yeah, I've taken a little bit of time. I published 2 books in 2018. Vegan 100 and Vegan Christmas. Vegan Christmas, you know, I think it's going to be like a Christmas song, essentially. Everyone needs Christmas recipes at Christmas time, because it's quite awkward being a vegan. I always think if you're going to be that awkward vegan, go into a non-vegan household, and they're thinking, what are we going to cook for this awkward vegan? Or you're just a bunch of awkward vegans, a family of them, you don't want a nut roast this year. I think that book's perfect for you. But then, so I took a little bit of time to think about my next sort of book and what I wanted to do, and I realised that to get more people eating a vegan diet, my recipes needed to be a bit more accessible, but not lose that flair that I've gained from working in professional kitchens. So I came up with this concept of doing a really simple cookbook, but full on flavour, protein packed for exercise conscious people like myself. Because people will still ask, where do you get your protein from? So this book's going to help them with that, and there'll be lots of recipes for meal prepping, for quick 15-minute meals, lots of gluten-free recipes, one-pot meals. So it's just going to be a sort of Bible of simple, tasty, quick vegan food. And I shot all the pictures recently for the food. It was so intense. I'm still recovering from it now. We did something like 8 or 9 pictures a day. And the food pictures are just out of this world, so I can't wait for it to come out. It's coming out in April. It's called Plants Only Cookbook. Sorry, it's not called that. It's called Plants Only Kitchen, and it's yeah, that's probably the first time I've mentioned it in an interview, so that's why I got the name wrong. But Plants Only Kitchen's coming out in April, and it's due to be my best book ever, I think. Oh, having a dish at Wagamama is just unbelievable still. I think my parents eat there once a week, and it's amazing. I still can't believe it right now, because obviously Wagamama was a big. I loved it growing up as a kid. You know, my dad brought home a cookbook of theirs when I was about 8 years old, and that's when I was getting into cooking. So I was reading that book, and it also had a DVD inside it, so I was watching the DVD and the chefs cooking. So I had an attachment to Wagamama for a long time, and then being able to do this collaboration dish and it going on the menu just as a trial in one of the restaurants and then going to all of them is amazing. So my dream restaurant would be to bring back traditional dining, because I don't know about you, but for me in London, it's particularly hard to say, take your family out for dinner, or your girlfriend out for dinner, or your partner out for dinner, whatnot, you know, on a date or something. You can't really spend a couple of hours, 3 hours in a restaurant, having wine, having a lovely 3-4 course meal. I think that element of fancy dining is not there for vegans. It is particularly in sort of New York and LA. When I've been there, I've noticed that there's some really lovely restaurants where you can sit down for that amount of time and just enjoy the food. It's very fast foody in London, so I would like to bring that back. And I've come from a fine dining cooking background in the kitchens. We always, you know, we were doing 8-course taster menus. That's the kind of dining I want to do, but I really want to make sure that it's affordable for everyone. So it's going to be tough actually balancing that out. But my restaurant, I want it to be very traditional, very welcoming, is that right? Welcoming. A cool vibe, atmosphere where I have events, where I have people coming to perform music, where I have beautiful art on the walls. It's going to be a great place. I can't wait, yeah. When I get to 1 million subscribers, I'll announce where I'm going to open it. And I'd say maybe 6 months to a year it'll be open. I'm just, I feel like this is my art, so whether that's, you know, just plating up food and doing a nice food picture for my Instagram or my books, or creating a, you know, just coming up with an idea for a video that will inspire people, and just thinking it in my head, writing some notes down, and then coming together with my amazing team and making this video, and it is so perfect. Just that creative process is the funnest part for me, and then seeing the reaction to the hard work is great. Obviously, I was a chef at age 15, right through to 20 in professional kitchens, that is, and serving my food to guests, or seeing the guests eating my food was so satisfying, and I get a similar sort of feeling just by seeing people reacting to my recipes on YouTube or pictures on Instagram. So it's a nice feeling seeing the hard work paying off and people enjoying the content. Everything I do, I'm a bit tunnel vision with everything I do. I don't look elsewhere. On my own journey whatsoever, I think there's amazing people out there putting out amazing content and creating amazing things in the vegan community. If I was to look elsewhere for inspiration, everyone would be doing this. I would be doing the same thing. So I try and keep my content as original as possible. I think that people can see that it's very different. And when it comes to like making my cookbooks, often cookbook authors would just give their recipes to a food stylist, and then they would cook their recipes for a food photographer to take the picture. But with me, cooking is my personality, so when I do cookbooks, I'll be at the studio cooking and styling every piece of food that's gone into that book. So, you know, I'm getting my personality across throughout that book just through food. So yeah, that authenticity is very important to me. It's very difficult, you know, in this current climate with the climate crisis and, you know, these the animal cruelty that's going on. You see it on social media. It's so difficult not to get bogged down with it. I always try and promote positivity on my social media, and I feel that often I always think about what my school friends would think, or, you know, if I'm promoting animal cruelty constantly on my social media, they'll probably unfollow. But if I promote how good this vegan lifestyle is, how good I feel, how good the food looks, how cool the new vegan sneakers are, how much energy I've got to do this certain exercise, I think they're more likely to engage in it. But there comes a time, and that's credit to you, Robbie, for sharing this information. Actually, often I'm sharing your posts, you know, you see this cruelty to animals that you just can't not share. And I've got this platform and I need to get it out there. So I'll often share, you know, whether it's, today I posted something about the fur industry or the dairy industry. These little snippets of information, I think, won't deter the non-vegans or my school friends that are following me to think about it and think more deeply into it, and then realise that, you know, they're probably not on the right path if they're not on a vegan lifestyle. That's my opinion. My parents always said take pride in the way you look, so I guess that's where that comes from. And just being a creative person, I guess that's where I get that sort of love for clothes. But it's changed slightly over the last few years, trying to shop more sustainably and trying to get reclaimed vintage stuff where possible.